If owning a home on land has always been a dream of yours, stay tuned. We're going to cover the top 5 things you need to know before you purchase that farm home in Colorado. Hi, I'm Natalie Randall, former teacher turned realtor and real estate strategist, helping people make their move in and to the Denver and greater North Denver areas. If you want to know everything there is to know about living in Denver and the North Denver area, start now by hitting that subscribe button and make sure to tap on the bell so that you're notified anytime there's a new video we've made for you. We welcome any questions, so feel free to call, email, or text anytime. We are here for you when it comes to knowing everything there is to know about living in the Denver area. And make sure to watch to the very end for your free guide to the top design tips for your home. With many TV shows highlighting what it's like to live on a small hobby farm, the trend is becoming more and more popular. Denver is surrounded by many suburbs that have homes with land. So it's definitely something worth looking into after you've considered these 5 things. The first thing to consider is your water rights. Colorado has a very low supply of water. Because of this, you might own water rights on the property that you're considering purchasing. This is not a bad thing, it's actually a really good thing. Where this can become a little bit complicated is in regards to the type of water rights that you have. For example, one property might have a well, but it also might have irrigation ditch rights. So these are things that you definitely want to be aware of ahead of time, especially because they may impact your ability to use the water for purposes that you intend to use it for. I made a whole video about having a well on your property and the things you need to know about a well. Just click on that little link above to watch it. Number 2 on our list is the zoning restrictions or zoning regulations. Many times people think that just because they purchased a home with land, that they can use that land however they see fit. While in some counties you may be able to get away with this, I would highly caution you to make sure that you're using the land in the way that the county has deemed fit. And in some cases, you can get the county to rezone your land for the intended purposes in which you would like to use it. However, I would not bank on a guarantee that the county will comply with your request to change those zoning regulations. And an example of this might be you purchase a home with land on it and that land is zoned agricultural. However, you may have a spouse or significant other, or maybe yourself, that wants to have a building for a business on this land. County might decline the permits and the request to build this business on the land because it's not originally zoned for that purpose. Number 3 on our list is the size of the lot. If you're purchasing in winter or late fall, it can be really deceiving because those native grasses and plants are going to appear not to be as cumbersome as they really are. And if you're shopping for a house with land and the owners are taking care of the property, most likely those native grasses, weeds, and plants are going to be mowed, so they'll appear to be easier to take care of. For example, if you buy a house with 4 acres on it, it may seem that it would only take 1 or 2 hours to mow that property. However, there's a couple things that you need to know first. 1, your traditional lawnmower is not going to do the trick. 2, you're most likely going to need a tractor that has a mowing blade on it in order to be able to mow the 4 acres in a timely manner and with some ease. Number 4 on the list is easements and use of neighboring space. What I mean by this is that oftentimes there can be existing oil and gas leases on the property. And if you don't own the mineral rights to that property that you're thinking of purchasing, you really don't have the ability to tell the oil and gas companies that you don't want them drilling under your home. Of course, there are some stipulations with this and some regulations in place, so it's best practice to seek the opinion and advice of an attorney that specializes in oil and gas leasing. Additionally, if your home backs up to hundreds of acres, it's important to plan in advance that there is a possibility your neighbor may sell that land to a subdivision developer, or they could even sell the land to an oil and gas company. So just know in advance that these are a few of the risks that you run from purchasing a home on land. Okay, number 5 on the list. Most farm homes or homes with acreage that are not in an HOA are going to be older homes. Most likely they're going to need renovations or remodeling. If this is the case, many times these older homes do pose some stressors with remodeling and renovations. For example, if you decide to tear down a non-load-bearing wall, it may seem like a very easy task to begin with, but once you start throwing some sledgehammers at it, you might notice there's electrical wiring or even plumbing in that wall. I would highly recommend that before you take on a remodeling or renovation project that you have some experience in doing so, or at least have some contractors that can help you with the process. Again, this video is focused solely on the top 5 things to consider before purchasing a farm home with land. There are tons of benefits to owning a home on land, and I'm going to cover those in an upcoming video. So make sure that you hit that subscribe button below and tap on the bell so that you're notified the next time that I make that video and you can hear all about true Colorado farm life. Oh, and before I forget, because most farm homes in Colorado require some remodeling or renovations, make sure to download that PDF on the design tips below.